Hello everybody, thank you for coming to our weekly video blog here at California Realty Training. Robert Rico here. We are always looking to encourage you and educate you on the real estate world, and today we have the big privilege to have Mr. Rick Cunningham himself here. Now Rick Cunningham, if you guys don't know, is a real estate mogul here in the real estate world, and we want to ask him a few questions. Maybe he can help us out, help you out with your real estate career, and see maybe you can get started on a nice, strong platform when you get started. Rick, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Thank you for coming here. Great to see you. We want to get to know you a little bit as far as a person, and maybe you'll be able to tell us how you got started in the real estate field. Tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you get started in real estate?
I got started in real estate about 20 years ago, and I got right into real estate when I got out of business school. And I realized that I had a passion for helping people, and so I originally was looking to get into commercial real estate and decided I could help more people by getting into the residential side first.
When was that moment, that precise moment where you said, you know what, real estate's going to be the thing that I want to do with the rest of my life, real estate?
You know, it was in business school that I really realized that I have a good knack for business, and I thought that this industry needed people at a higher level, and I thought it was a great opportunity for me to come in and kind of change an industry, and I saw it as an opportunity to really grow and develop and make good money and be able to help people.
Speaking of money, when you became a real estate agent, how did you grow your business when it came to just real estate, being a real estate agent?
Well, I had great mentors.
Okay.
And the first thing I would say, if for a new person, they should get a great mentor.
Mentorship
is critical. So I got the best training, I got great mentorship, and I really focused on generating leads. And really, we're in the real estate business, but it's really about lead generation, lead follow-up that gets you the business.
Got it. So without people, we have no business.
Correct. You can know all the real estate in the world, but if you don't have a client, you're not going to.
That's my motto. You can know the contracts upside down, in the dark, so on and so forth. Without a client means nothing. I hope you agree with that.
I agree completely.
How the heck did you transition from being a real estate agent? This is amazing. From becoming a real estate agent to owning several real estate brokerages with Keller Williams.
Well, I saw it as an opportunity when I first got approached to be the first agent in Los Angeles for Keller Williams. I saw it as an opportunity to have a business model that really supports my real estate sales career. And then I saw the bigger opportunity, which is why I went to business school, was to own my own brokerage.
Uh-huh.
And so I always had that vision, and this became the right platform for me to exercise that vision, and I've done, I own 20 Keller Williams offices now in California and Hawaii. So
he owns 20 Keller Williams offices, just so everybody knows here. He's very influential in the real estate world out here in California and in Hawaii.
Yes. Okay,
so the transition, was it simple?
It's not simple, but it's, I'm very determined. So the way I ran my real estate business is the same way I run my real estate companies. So it's all about, like, how do I help the agents, how do I help consumers, how do I provide the best level of support so that way my agents can thrive and be successful as well.
Good. So speaking of agents within your brokerage, what is that you look for when, say, interviewing an agent that wants to work under your brokerage?
They have to have passion and drive. You can't motivate people. They have to love the business. If they don't love the business, they shouldn't be in this business.
Got it.
Like I will say, I go on vacation and I want to look at the real estate locally, go to open houses or walk by a window and see what the average sale price is in places. So I have that passion. That passion's never died. And that's why I walk to work every day and say, this is my career and this is what I love. And so it doesn't feel like work.
Uh-huh.
So that has kept that fuel going year after year after year. And I would say that for new agents getting in, they have to have that desire. The skills can be learned, but you have to have that passion.
Oh, I like that. The skills can be learned, but you have to have that passion.
Right.
You can't teach passion?
You can't teach passion, you can't teach motivation.
Got it. Love it. Love it. Love it. What do you attribute your success to? That's a pretty deep question. Looking back, you've done a lot, Rick. I highly respect it. You've gone from business school to successful real estate agent to owning brokerages. Several, not just one, not just two, several. Looking back, what do you owe your success to?
I learned early on that it's all about who you're in business with matters, whether that's a client or whether that's people that support you or you help support. It's about people. It's a people business. And I have learned how to develop people. So a person who started as my assistant 14 years ago now runs an entire company for me. So I believe in investing in people, and those people invest back in me, and because of that, we've grown incredible businesses. There's no way I could run this many businesses without without the help and support of others.
Got it. So it's important to have the right team with you.
Completely.
Aside from passion, I'm sure you have other techniques that you've used throughout the past. Passion, determination, all those key elements that we need to be successful. Who's helped you along the way aside from your team? Is there anybody in particular that you look up to that's influenced you in your life?
Yes, of course. There's Gary Keller, who actually built Keller Williams, is one of the people I most look at for inspiration. He's an incredible leader, and not just in real estate. About he's written all these books, and he's really looked at this business in a different way. And because of that, I respect what he's done. I would say that there's a lot of people like John Maxwell and Tony Robbins and others. And
so you like Tony Robbins?
I do.
I love Tony Robbins.
Yeah. And I do certain things to create habits. I've learned how to create habits when I want to get better in anything, whether it's personal or business. I create those habits by creating systems behind it to change what I'm doing to be better at something that I want to be better at.
Speaking about habits, if you don't mind me asking part 2 of this question, this is good stuff on habits. Habits, it's been known that habits in place will get you to success. But how do you keep that habit intact? How do you discipline yourself to keep that habit strong?
You said the word discipline. What I do is I put sticky notes on my mirror, and I do it for 30 to 40 days.
Do you actually put a sticky note?
The sticky note is on my mirror, and if you looked at my mirror, the sticky note doesn't come off. So the first thing I see in the morning and the last thing I see at night are the sticky notes. So it's a constant reminder of what's important.
This is an actual activity that Rick Cunningham does. He puts sticky notes on the mirror to help him out. Good.
Yeah, and I don't do more than 3 things at once. So for me, it's always my New Year's resolutions. Actually, I succeed at about 90% of it. And it's all about, I believe a habit is developed over 26, 27 days. You create a habit. I do it a little bit longer. And so creating those habits, it becomes a pattern. Just like going to the gym. Like if I don't go to the gym on a day I'm supposed to go, like I feel that sense of like I'm missing something.
Right.
You have to do that. Like if you want to be disciplined or you want to make money in this business, you have to be disciplined in not all areas. You have to be disciplined in the most important areas. That's lead generation, lead follow-up, and about really being focused in certain areas of the business.
Got it. We've been talking a lot about in this interview about business, about work, about how to make it happen. How important is it to have a well-balanced day or a well-balanced life? Not just work. Because I've done that throughout my career. It's work. Before you know it, years have gone by, and my kids are this big now. And I'm like, what happened? When did they grow up? Do you believe balance is important?
It's incredibly important. If you don't have balance, you're going to be. I believe in imbalance, constant imbalance. So
constant imbalance.
Yeah.
Right.
So I work really hard, and then I make sure that I'm playing really hard too. So I work at the extremes, and people know that like I'm not the agent who's going to put I work 24/7 on my card because I'm not. My family is important, and at a certain time of night, my phone gets turned off, and everything else has to wait.
Does it really get turned off?
It completely gets turned off.
He turns off the phone, which I highly agree with. Otherwise, you're going to have that little, how can I say it, the little question mark in your head, is the phone going to ring again when you're with your loved ones? And you don't want to have that little doubt in your head that it might ring.
The last thing you want to do is say, Daddy, you're always on the phone. We're playing ball and you're on the phone. I mean, when you got to be present in work and you got to be present at home.
Right.
And if you're not present, you're not going to be happy in both.
100% agree. That actually happened to me. I was answering my phone all the time when I was with my kids. I was answering the phone all the time. Eventually, they would give me that stink eye. They would give me like, "Damn, not again! You picking up the phone?" That's the only regret I have in real estate was I didn't spend enough time with my kids, and I put real estate ahead of them. I don't believe that anymore.
Yeah, and you can do this. You can be very effective. If you're really effective the first 4 hours of the business day, you can accomplish a lot, and you could be one of the top agents in the entire city. It's about laser focus for at least parts of the day, and everything else can fall apart. And if you do a 4 hour work day that's really focused, you can probably reach your goals very easily.
How do you define success?
I define success by it's less monetary and more about when people recommend me to others. That defines success for me because that tells me I'm accomplishing what I wanted, which was to help people succeed.
That really makes you feel good?
It's not just even making me feel good. I feel like I'm accomplishing something.
Got it.
So I'm making a difference in people's lives. I'm making a difference in my own life. And the money is the byproduct.
Got it.
It's not the focus, it's the byproduct.
Beautiful. I love it. Let's talk about the market, today's market. Where do you think it's headed?
Well, we're due for more interest rate hikes because the economy is actually doing well, and I feel like we're going to have a pretty good period right now. But I think that's a short window, mainly because we've been due for a downturn market, and we will stay strong just because of the lack of inventory right now, but that's the only thing really that's propelling us through what should have been already a downturn market. And we felt the downturn already happen in certain markets, and we're still feeling it a little bit, but it's really the lack of inventory causing that.
Are you expecting a downturn anytime soon? Say 1 year, 2 years? When,
Yes.
according to real estate cycles, and if you had a crystal ball, when do you think the next one is actually going to affect the market?
I believe we saw part of it last fall and even into January, and I think we're having a robust spring because the fundamentals and the difference of government is causing part of that, and the fact that we have like 4.8% unemployment rate really helps so people can buy. The problem is when interest rates start going up, the affordability changes, and when affordability changes, it causes a problem. There's another big issue too, which is the affordability in the new construction and development to meet the demands of the first-time home buyers. There's so much demand and not enough supply to support that, and mainly because the cost of land, the cost of development, entitlement, it's so expensive that why build lower income projects than building much more expensive homes?
Right. Now I know the affordability index
causing problems.
Yeah, and I'm glad you touched on the affordability index in Los Angeles and San Francisco. And you own brokerages up in San Francisco.
Correct.
Affordability index is very low. It's very expensive in these areas. How do people? How do they get through these kind of times when it's so expensive to buy a home and they can't? So they go into the rental market.
Right.
How do we fix
And
it?
the rentals are so expensive. That's why if you look at the cap rate of apartment buildings, why it's just unprecedented numbers. And it's partly because there's just a lack of supply.
Right.
And until they release that and allow for more building to go on or create some sort of government sponsored things in order to create the supply necessary for our economy to support that growth, we're going to have a really tight and very difficult market.
Got it. This is great stuff. I'm hoping you guys are taking all this in. Fantastic stuff. Let's get off the business side a little bit. How do you start your day? How do you start your day saying, you know what, I'm going to get up, I'm motivated, I'm ready to go and attack the world? How do you do that? What motivates you?
Yeah, I would say everything's a habit. So I wake up, I eat almost the same thing. I go to the gym every time, almost at the same time. I get to work at the same time. I do the same activities. And so I start every day the same.
But what's your motivation? What makes you want to do this?
I would say it's every day is a new opportunity to do something unique.
Okay.
And the great part about our industry is you can be very successful in the real estate industry and have a very, very different day than the person sitting next to you that's also in the real estate industry. It's a very broad industry. So I would say that I've created an opportunity that really suits what works well for me, and I work well for that niche, leadership development, which is what I focus on.
Got it.
And because of that, I wake up inspired to affect people's lives, change that, and make a difference.
Got it. Let's wrap this up nicely. Rick, there's a lot of mottos out there. One of my mottos is, I like the motto, well, the motto I live by is by Winston Churchill. He said, Winston Churchill once said, if you're going through hell, keep going. I love it. In other words, if there's a downturn in your life, just struggle through it and then get through it. What's Rick Cunningham's motto when it comes to real estate?
Be in it for the passion or don't be in it.
Be in it for the passion or don't be in it. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, you gotta love this business. And if you don't love this business, it's probably not the right career. And I would say that you got to have that internal thing in you that wants to make a difference and help people.
Can you see that in individuals? When
You can see it in a second.
Really?
You can, within a 2-minute interview, I can tell you whether someone's got it or not.
I actually agree with you on that. Thank you so much for coming, Rick.
Sure.
I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Listen, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to our page. Thank you for coming. We'll see you next week.